Ancho, menenamos esh Connor ha Kenenborg, Akthana esh so Govzíš Razda. So in this video, I'm going to go over the Govzíš, or Dizgovzian language. Dizgovzi is my old nation states account nation thingy. I've had it in some form or another since I was like 12 years old. And I've gone through multiple different versions of lore and language. And this is the most recent version that I kind of started at the end of my time in university when I was still doing linguistics. So just to give you an idea, Govzíš, if you couldn't tell, is related to the word Gothic. That's because it's an East Germanic language with most of its descent is from Danubian Gothic. There's been a lot of medieval Greek loanwords and influence, and then a lot of Russian recently with highly technical vocabulary. And you're going to see a lot of stuff that's going to sound incredibly Slavic, but actually isn't. Just that's how I chose to do the sound shifts. So I think this is like Sochi right here and Sinop right here down here. So the capital is Strasbourg. Your other most important cities historically were Sorbachu down here and Mikaliu. There's a mountain range kind of going up right down the middle. Tarasovo, Athabarg, Irasbarg, Yorhov, Pariachu, Belisirs, Kalehiu, stuff like that. I would say there's about 3 million people in it, if I remember correctly from my lore. I'm not super active with this, but I love the language I made. And this is the thing, you're not going to see stuff that you would normally expect to see in a Conlang showcase video. I do not have a phoneme inventory. I do not have a section going over sound changes from Gothic to Govzíš or Dizgovzian. I do not have like a lot of Leipzig terminology or like the grammar stuff with syntax. Like there's not going to be stuff with syntax, and there's two reasons for that. One, it is incredibly hard to make a realistic Conlang to the point where I actively try not to. I tried to make. I'm okay with mistakes. I'm okay with mistakes happening because mistakes happen in real life. And when you are making your own language and you want it to be realistic and human, you have that language in your head. And so when you make speech errors, when you make grammar errors, that is realistic in of itself. It's better than writing down a bunch of strict grammar rules and then it's got to be 100% accurate. No, it's not like creating. I think a good analogy would be art forgeries. So if you want to paint a forgery of a Hieronymus Bosch painting, you got to get every single thing down straight. But if you just want to paint your own painting and have it look nice, just go paint. So the other part is it's not fun for me. It's not fun for me to make that stuff when I'm creating Conlangs because since choosing to leave the linguistic academia path, I've kind of found myself enjoying linguistics a lot less. And so that's not stuff I really enjoy doing as much anymore. And I just like having the language. So I'll talk about some orthographic things, some sound stuff, and some grammar stuff. But I just want to show off what it sounds like. And the fact that, like, yeah, I have a lot more than what I'm about to show you. Like, there's a lot more that I'm in my notes and stuff than, like, the words and sentences and paragraphs I'm about to show you right now. So let's just start off with some miscellaneous stuff. And this is what it sounds like. I'm going to say this in a more vernacular way rather than the, like, standardized, like, high level, which is what you see just directly from the orthography. So when you see an accent over a vowel, that's your tense-lax stuff, except for the AU cluster. You see this a lot. That used to be AU. Now it's just the open back rounded vowel ah. So here we go. Mati son sabion zunchazi atachudis govziash matika. Uina hanjus kohleta thana aithar hjarna uish kuimu. Uina jruzaz arthadaisi hlasbajezi. Akuish hathiarayut. So that HL there, that is a voiceless lateral fricative. Dizgovzian or Govzíš does not have F. It does not have a couple other sounds that you would expect. There's no W. There really isn't a P. You sometimes see P in loanwords. V is also very rare, which is funny because it's in the name of the language. But so there's a lenition from the FL cluster to HL. L itself is pretty rare outside of the voiceless lateral fricative. So word by word, mighty or strong are the forces of evil. This is your genitive here. That's Z, or just an E at the end, is genitive. Atha is but. Dizgovzi, that is the endonym for the country, Dizgovzi. That comes from, I want to say, Theudisks Govidos in Gothic. So the nation of the Goths is stronger. Our hands, tilled past tense, this soil from whence we came. Our blood irrigated its riverbeds. So you have a plural genitive, I want to say. And we thrived yet, or nevertheless, basically. So I like that sentence a lot. So this is how you could say your age in Govzíš. You have the traditional way, Chachliaknu intrus sayas haviam. So 12 and 9 winters I have seen. The duodecimal system really is functionally gone in modern Govzíš. But what you will see a lot is you see a lot of verb final. So Govzíš is SVO, but SOV is often used, especially in colloquial speech. Part of that is due to modal verbs just kind of influencing the other ones. Or you could also do the modern ones. Jeżem chaito już ak aiziarsenich. So in a full sentence, that could be something like, so angaya jam prosta tus Dizgovzi esh salzreit ak aiznan anatosnovich sainko, buletisi risran tarosovo, si esh treito już ak ato yarsenich. So the current Prime Minister of Dizgovzi is the Right and Honorable Anatosnovich Sayenko, representative of West Tarasovo. So this is not a W, that is literally just the vowel hiatus, or sometimes a labial palatal approximant, kind of like you get in French. She is 38 years old, so in modern German that would be like 38. In Govzíš, it's 38. All right. So one of the main things, you'll see people doing the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I actually usually go for the Lord's Prayer just because I know it by heart. I don't know the Universal Declaration for Human Rights by heart. I'm not that much of a Conlanger. I think Conlangers are the only people, except for like bureaucrats, who know that. So this is the Lord's Prayer. This is, I'm happy with it. It is notably different from the old Gothic version, but that's just due to a lot of the sound changes that have happened and lexical changes and semantic changes. Again, I don't have all this stuff written down, like what's changed, because so much of it is just in my head, because that's how I like to conlang. That, for me, that gives a much more realistic and enjoyable conlanging experience. So this is the Lord's Prayer in Govzíš. Oina adas in ranyan chuish, juhajus chena nomos, chena hiksi kuimai, chena iezi arthai. Zen ranyan akanarthan. Oina dagachik abrazi jiba uyesh hidag. Akra oina amarchazi hragava uyesh. Hayok hragaviam oina amarchariazan. Akin zapiros mo hleitha uyesh nais. Thusra unchunu hlaushna uyesh. Hachene ishorik, aksamot, aksahachlen, harayuz. So yeah, here's the literal translation over here. I'm proud of this one myself. And lastly for this video, we gotta have something funny. Here's the Walter White soliloquy. Mena namos esh Walter Hartwell White. Och 300 Acato Negra Royal Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Atosivu I0 Hlidubayam. Ju Achlan Pravahran Telnia Organins. Dana esh Andaichasus Amachazinais. Nuach mena genazikitham. Skyler. Tui sahrias mena ehrazi. Tach kunish tachi harayanam. Walterulis. Tuish mena matiman. Tharesht thingas ju artha. Thingas dachen kuimaj dagzan permesh so hamathaya. Thacha chus ju kunia thachane uliam. Nesmochana hai ismathujane e mena artuz thachane havaidam. Ancho. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this brief presentation about Govzíš, and if you liked it and want to see more, let me know. All right. I will get back to working on normal videos when I have the time. There's a reason this was quick. All right. Bye-bye. Love you.